My wife and I, we have a cabin in McCall that we go to and pretty much spend the summers at. And while we were up there, I've noticed at times that I no longer could quite walk around as much as I wanted to because I had a lot of pain in my hips. And that had been reoccurring for about the last couple years. And so we enjoy biking, we enjoy hiking, and kind of traveling around the area. We have side-by-sides and we do a lot of camping, and all those activities were just basically getting harder and harder to do. And so finally I decided that maybe I ought to have these hips looked at. So I went to Dr. Peterson at Bingham Memorial Hospital, and he did some x-rays and looked at my hips and basically told me that they were pretty worn. One of the first things he said to me as he's looking at my x-rays was, he goes, "Which hip is bothering you?" And I said, "Well, it's my left one." He says, "Well, the right one's probably just as bad. And so you're gonna have to have both hips replaced." And anyway, though, we scheduled an appointment, decided to do the left one first. We got to the hospital, and the hospital was just great. We walked in, and from there, you didn't even have to really think about anything. Everybody was just like, "Here, I'll take you here. And this is what's gonna happen." The professionalism, just the feel of just caring and kindness was really, really great, that they really did care about you. We got in the pre-op room. We were in there less than probably 30 minutes. They took me back to surgery, and basically a couple hours later, I was in the room out of the surgery, and I was really feeling pretty good. And they got me up about an hour after I got in that room. I walked up and down the hallway. I went up and down stairs, and my hip felt great at that point. I couldn't believe just how easy it was to walk again. I actually had a full stride. I didn't limp, which was pretty amazing after about a year and a half of limping around. So Dr. Peterson came up later that afternoon and looked at me and said, "You're doing pretty good. I'm sending you home," which put a big smile on our face. 4 days after the operation, I walked 2.5 miles outside around my block, unaided. And my wife looked at me and goes, she goes, "Slow down. This is the fastest you've walked in 2 years." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not walking fast. I'm being careful." But anyway, so the experience was incredible. And 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after that, I've been on the go, and I've been pretty much pain-free, and it was a wonderful experience. I think that the Mako robotic arm system really speeded up my recovery. I think the precision at which my hip was put in, if you've ever had a hip surgery, when you stand up and you can walk like with a natural stride on your first couple steps, it was amazing. I couldn't believe how precise and how easy my hip moved. It was pain-free, and my recovery was probably the best ever, and extremely fast. The robotic arm, I think from the beginning, when I went to Dr. Peterson, he talked about the CT scans they use and how they build this procedure ahead of time. And they go in there, and so, it just gives you confidence that the technology is going to give you the best possible outcome you could have. And I did, I guess, from that point of view. And so I'm really happy about it. I'll shortly go in and get my second hip done. And definitely, Dr. Peterson will be doing it, and we will be using the Mako robotic arm.